right, good evening, everyone. Welcome back to the Adams Brothers Podcast, the hottest podcast in the Tri-County areas of South Florida, Dade, Broward, and Palm Beach County, and even the state. Around the country, and we're all around the world. Welcome back to the Adams Brothers Podcast, people. Come on in the room. It's a pop-up podcast, and let's chop it up. If you want to get in on the dialogue, you want to call into the podcast, it's 754-227-1986. 754-227-1986 is at the bottom of your screen, going from my left to your right, from my right to my left. I don't know what it is on your side of the screen, but it's down there in blue on the ticker. So come on in the room. Let's chop it up. It's Wednesday. It's hump day here in beautiful sunny South Florida. Thank you all for tuning in on YouTube and Facebook, out in YouTube and Facebook land. Thank you for joining us. Thank you. It's been a lot going on here this week, I can tell you. We got a lot to cover here today. It's been really tense here in the city of Deerfield Beach between the city manager, Rodney Brimlow, and Sheriff Dr. Gregory Toney. He's the sheriff of Broward County, Florida. As you all know that there is a ongoing contract dispute between Deerfield Beach and the Broward County Sheriff's Office. They're trying to come to an agreement with the numbers. Sheriff Toney wants to give all of the deputies here in Deerfield Beach a raise, which I don't think anybody has a problem with. But I think the taxpayers are looking at it as taking a big hit all at once. So, again, it's been some tension between former BSO captain Rodney Brimlow, who has now retired from the Broward County Sheriff's Office, and he is now the city of Deerfield Beach city manager. So he is he's retired, been retired about maybe a year and a half or so ago.
A little bit more than that.
Maybe 2 years now.
Yeah, because he's been the public safety director for at least
a year and a half.
At least over 2 years, I believe. Yeah.
So he's now the city manager, and he's now collecting his pension from the Florida retirement, from BSO and the Florida retirement. I believe they're all in the Florida retirement. And the sheriff is saying that, when he was with the sheriff's office, he was advocating for those pay raises because pretty much he was still working here, so it would benefit him. But now that he's no longer a member of BSO, it's pretty much a problem. He doesn't want the other deputies to get that same pay raise that they're due. He's saying that there hasn't been a pay study in over 30 years. He is the first sheriff that's actually conducted a pay study, and that the deputies here in Broward County is grossly underpaid compared to other municipal police departments in Palm Beach County and here in Broward. I know that the Boca Raton Police Department, their top pay, not the starting pay, but you have a top pay, a mid-level, and then you have a gross pay, the gross salary that you could top out. Your top pay is about $140,000, and with the city of Boca Raton and Coral Springs. So I think that they really want to bring the deputies up to par, and that their salaries they're underpaid and they have a high turnover rate. The deputies are getting trained here in Broward County, and they're leaving to go to other municipal police departments because of the better pay and the better benefits and everything. And I can understand, that they want to get paid, and I don't think anybody has a problem paying the police officers. They do an outstanding job. My son is a police officer, so I understand it. But there's also a burden on the taxpayers when you do that. They have to find that money from somewhere, and most times it's through raising taxes or cutting city services. So that's where we're at. It's been, like I said, it's been tense, man. The sheriff is accusing City Manager Rodney Brimlow of going to the Florida Department of Law Enforcement and filing a false police report against him, saying that he threatened him, and we're being told that never happened. But Sheriff Tony he had a press release today, and he provided a letter to the press. He gave everybody a letter, and he read the letter from the Florida Department of Law Enforcement, pretty much rebuting what we've been told. We haven't seen that letter. We put in some requests to get it, but we haven't seen it yet, and we haven't read it. We were going to put it up on the screen here for you today. We do have a termination letter, but we were trying to pull it up, and I was having some trouble. I'm not the expert here on our platform here, but we're working. We've turned some corners. We're going to share some videos with you today. But pretty much it's tense, and the sheriff put out some letters, and he released it to the press today, and he read the letter that that it was unfounded. The allegations were unfounded, and they didn't find anything wrong with what the sheriff said. So we'd like to get a copy of that letter. If anybody has it, please email it to us at adamsbrotherspod@gmail.com. adamsbrotherspod@gmail.com. When we'd like to share it on the air here today. So it's been tense. I know we've been getting a ton of phone calls, man, all week, man. Our phone has been going crazy, man. And I tell you, it's pretty tense, and I think they need to simmer the tension down. It's at its peak right now, and it needs to come down. They need to simmer down, take a deep breath, and go back to the negotiating table and come to a conclusion. Because right now they want to rebuild Dixie Highway, and we don't see anybody wanting to come to Deerfield Beach with all of this going on. Who wants to come bring a business here right now? So, I mean, it's the tension is very high right now between the sheriff and our city manager, Rodney Brimlow, who's now working from home because he feels that his livelihood and he's being threatened. Him and his family may be threatened by the comments of Sheriff Dr. Gregory Tony. So he is now working from home. And that's where we're at right now. Like I said, man, it's tense right now. So Wayne, jump on in here.
Yeah, I'll refer to one of the comments by Miss Tara Portier. It really is sad. I mean, living here all your life, we never saw anything like this going on between the sheriff and the city manager. I just hope too, like Daryl said, that they come to a agreement. I really think this is just my belief that I don't think there's no coming back from this. I believe Deerfield right now wants to build their police department, and if that's what Deerfield wants to do, then do it. I'll say this, and I said this before. I like BSO. I hope they can work something out and they can stay here. That's just me. That's my personal opinion. But I know it all comes down to dollars and cents. It is an ongoing back and forth of words. I mean, some of the words that Tony used was strong. Me personally, I've been asked, do you think it was a bodily harm threat. No, it wasn't a bodily harm threat. But, you know, when someone
Strong
feels
language.
threatened, right, the strong language, it can be perceived as that. I mean, I like to know what y'all think in the chat, but the language that was used, like some of the language that was used can make a person feel very uncomfortable and make them fear for their livelihood. I want to go back to, me and a person had a conversation this morning, and I'm not going to call their name, but they made a very interesting point to me this morning. And they told me that, because it was brought up about City Manager Brimlow working from home. And it was brought up to me about that City Manager Brimlow feels threatened because he worked in that agency for over 30-something years. And when the sheriff said that I have the power of this office to destroy people, I'm just paraphrasing. I don't know if that exactly that was how it was said. I know it wasn't, but when he said the power of this office, and the person told me, say, Rodney Brimlow been in that building, and he's been in command for 30-something years, so he knows the power of people in high positions, like at the Broward Sheriff Office, and that he probably saw that done before in his career to someone where they spoke out for whatever reason and their career was destroyed. And that person, you know, said, I want you to look at it that way, that is how Rodney Brimlow is looking at it, why he's feeling threatened, that he saw that happen over the years at the sheriff office. And, you know, I thought about that. I was like, wow, that was a great analogy to say that in the conversation that I had this morning with that person. And Mr. Brimlow knows, he saw that done before at that agency. He saw people destroy it. So is it a physical threat? I didn't see a physical threat, but I saw words that was used that would make me feel uncomfortable. If I was still working at the city of Deerfield and someone said those words to me, I would feel like they're going after my livelihood. I would be honest with you, I would be very stressed out. So when that person made that point to me, it opened my eyes up to something. And but as far as for me, it's not a good look for Deerfield Beach. All of us who've been here and who calls this our home, this is not a good look for the residents here. It's not. I mean, when you look at it, businesses already talk to me and Daryl, and they already skeptical. And we made that clear to when we had the mayor, both mayors on, and the commissioners that we had on. We made that very clear to them that people tell us all the time that they don't want to come to Deerfield Beach to bring their businesses.
Because it's not a friendly city.
It's not a friendly business city. And me and Daryl, and I'm quite sure others, do a lot of convincing out there to convince people to invest here in Deerfield Beach, invest their business, invest buying a home here. But this is not a good look for the city. I mean, and Tony said today that he's going to file a complaint about the city manager Brimlow. You know, the complaint he made that he alleged. And again, my thing is, I look, if you're gonna go to start your own police department up, go do it. I mean, you know, that's what the sheriff alleges that Mr. Brimlow wants to do. And if that's what the city wants to do, I think they need to come out, be transparent, tell the residents, look, we think we can do better, and just don't even continue to just they're in a transitional period right now. Go to that 2-year transitional period. And if you want to go back to your police department, be transparent, talk to the residents and tell the residents and explain, because you're going to have to explain that cost, because I'm quite sure that cost is going to be very high going back. I'm going to go on record right here. I would prefer that we stay, but I know it comes down to dollars and cents. And that's what's important. But again, I'll say it again, and I know everyone in the chat probably agree, this is not a good look for us here.
Yeah, Tony said that. It's not a good look for Broward County, period.
It's not a good look for the sheriff department. I mean, it's not a good look for the sheriff. And I look at the sheriff from a point of he's a black man, and you know, it's not a good look. Some of the language, the tough language that was used. And I look, the sheriff is a friend of our podcast. He was our very first guest.
Very first guest.
When matter of fact, he saw a cousin of ours
just this week.
Just this week. She's a police chief, and he was one of the keynote speakers at the it was some type of black organization of police chiefs,
professional women or something.
And Sheriff Tony was the police chief, and our cousin, who a lot of people met at my dad's dedication, she was in the University of Michigan. She was here at that police chief conference, and she went over to Tony and started talking to him, and she told him she was our cousin, and you know, he talked very highly of us, which he always do, and I think him and Mr. Brimlow are good people, and I just think they all need to just get in a room, sit down, and talk. The
sheriff is trying to do what's best for the deputies here in Deerfield Beach, and I understand that the city manager is also trying to do what's best for the taxpayers here in Deerfield Beach.
Yep,
there's always somewhere. There's a medium that you can meet somewhere in the middle. Okay, you're asking for 11-12%, and the contract says 5%. Okay, let's meet in the middle so that it's not a big burden on the city and the taxpayers, you know, because ultimately, us taxpayers, we're going to have to pay for that.
Yeah. And I mean, the comments in there, I mean, Get Sensational said, we tell young people every day to talk out their problems. Yeah. We do. We tell the young people every day to talk out our problems. And I always say the grown-ups mess it up for the young people when it comes to other things. Yeah, but right now, I think everyone the sheriff said today, whether he's factual or not, he said he's willing to continue to talk to Deerfield Beach. I would hope that we would sit down at that table of brotherhood and talk, because I would like to see, me personally, the sheriff stay here, the sheriff department stay here. I think we're really getting our tax money, but if it gets too high, you know, I mean, I'm looking at, and I said this here months for the last few months, if the cost is too astronomical, then we need, like they're always saying, I agree, we look at the cost. We always look at our options.
You have to look at the numbers.
You have to. At least look at the numbers. If you care about your residents here and your taxpayers here, you have to look at the numbers of starting your own force. That's right. You have to look at it.
That's all I've ever said.
That's right.
And we've ever said, just look at the numbers. Nobody said you have to go with your own police department or stay with BSO, whatever they want to do. The city has a responsibility to at least look at the numbers. If it's a savings, if it's not a savings, they have that responsibility to their constituents, the taxpayers here in this city, that they have a responsibility to look at the numbers.
Yeah, That's right.
To watch over our tax dollars.
That's right.
Okay,
and look at it, and be fair, and be transparent when you're looking at the numbers, because the sheriff made a lot of allegations that he had told Mr. Brimlow, different things, and he made allegations that Mr. Brimlow
he said that there was a letter too that the major came up and said that there was a letter that they responded back on July the 25th, I believe it was, and they were supposed to read it at the last commission meeting.
Mm-hmm.
An updated letter. And the major was saying that they never mentioned it.
Yeah, and we saw the major at the budget hearings. Me and Daryl was at the budget hearings at the tech center. He spoke to me and Daryl. He said, I guess he might have knew, because he seemed like he knew who we were, because he said, how you gentlemen doing? And you know, he spoke to us, but he was back there.
He had a suit on. He didn't have his BSO uniform, his brass on and everything.
Right.
So, but we didn't.
We knew he was law enforcement. Right. We knew it, because I remember me and Daryl sitting there talking. We knew he was in law enforcement.
Right. But how many of y'all saw the roll call press release out there? If you didn't see it, we have it, and we can play it here on air here right now.
So we're gonna play the video. We're gonna, as soon as Daryl pull that up, we're gonna play the video of the press, actually it's been 3 press conferences already. It was a press conference with the with Sheriff Tony, I believe. When that was there on Monday, Sheriff Tony made that video. Today Wednesday,
It was roll call.
It was roll call where it was finally shown.
Mhm.
Yeah, he did that last week.
Yeah.
The roll call.
So
And then after that, Mayor Todd Drosky had a response, which was yesterday. It was probably about a 6-minute press conference. And then today,
Gregory Tony here, Sheriff of Broward County. Today I have to give you guys another update. The nature of politics and the abuse of authority is so grotesque right now at the federal, state, and local level. And we are dealing with another incident or issue.
Let's pause here for 1 second here. I think we're going to go ahead and fast forward to the roll call.
Yeah.
The roll call part. So that's what we're talking about right now. We're talking about the roll call and the strong language. So we want to warn you that if we know we have some pastors that watch this and some
Pastor Keith Williams,
Keith Williams in here, but it's some strong language from the sheriff in here. I'm going to see if I can fast forward to that right now, and then we're going to let you. Oh, here's the roll call right here. So we're going to go right to the roll call, and we're going to let you hear exactly what Sheriff Tony said. So here's Sheriff Tony at the roll call. This is what started, what a strong language came in at.
Let's take a peek.
I want to give you guys an update on the status of how the negotiations been occurring when it comes to law enforcement and fire rescue across all our different partnerships that we have from one municipal to the next, including the county. Thus far, we've had a tremendous amount of success in that we have cities that are signing on to the necessary salary studies adjustments that we've articulated and have clearly shown them over the last several months. I'm excited to hear that, but we are running into somewhat of a hiccup, and I'm educating you up on what that process is and where these hiccups are occurring. I think it's important. One, the colonels, majors, staff, fire component chiefs, unions, they're all here. They've had some communication with you thus far, but the problem we're encountering right now is really very disappointing. This is an issue that is driven and exclusively problematic from one of our own, okay? All of you know that Captain Brimlow served under my command for a period of time. During that time in his tenure, he was always in agreement that the agency should have salary increases for personnel and that we needed to do everything possible to expand and be competitive in this market. And then overnight that changed when he became the city manager. Our team has put forth a most comprehensive and fair negotiating component to get this contract executed without creating an unnecessary burden on the entire city and creating a financial crisis for them. We've gotten to a point where we presented a proposal that had about $900,000 in savings for the group, clearly meeting the mandates or expectation that was kind of delivered on his accord, that we need to be able to do some save reduction and stay within the 5% caps. We did all that. We put our best and final offer forward only for it to be thrown in our face. Only to be thrown in our face. Now, where does that leave us? We're still at this table. I think there's enough political individuals up there, from the mayor, vice mayor, maybe a commissioner or two, who wants to be able to get through this channel, understands the imperative nature. I've had a hour-long conversation with the mayor. I spoke to the Vice Mayor Preston, coming with a firefighter background, who verbalized and stated he wished that I was a sheriff when he was a firefighter and fought on his behalf because he agreed that the payments need to be made. And he had a legitimate concern to make sure that the implementation strategy that would take place would not create a burden on the community. That's his job. He's responsible for that. Now, so how are we still here? Whereas Deerfield is basically the last one at the table, still throwing punches. And I'm going to tell you what I think it is. Okay.
And let me pause it right there. We were told that Deerfield isn't the last city that's at the table. Am I correct on that?
Yeah, that's what we were told.
The sheriff is saying that Deerfield is the last one. So, but we've heard, through the grapevine that Deerfield is not the last city. So again, this is what the sheriff is alleging. So.
And we like to get it on paper, so don't hold us.
Yeah, we're just going by what we're told. So we're gonna pick up from on the video.
I am done playing politics in any accord. And you guys know I don't play it as it is. But I'm not going to have an individual stand in the way of your ability to receive a raise so that you can have a fair and competitive salary so that we can retain you and so that you can take care of your family members and buy cars and make car payments and child care and mortgages and everything else that we deal with as people. To have the obstructionist was an individual who retired here, and I gave him an outstanding retirement packet and benefits. And then now those benefits that he's received from this agency, he's now saying none of you deserve. He's saying none of you deserve it. There's no fucking tap dancing around it. That's what he's telling you guys. For the Deerfield District Command, you should be absolutely livid. Any of you that has some loyalty to him, you better dismiss it now, because there's no loyalty left that he has for anyone in this district. And this also applies to my firefighters, who for your careers and your time in Deerfield had every officer back. If they took a bullet, you were going to run in there to help them. Every time an officer got hurt, fire rescue was there to support him. And all of a sudden, fire rescue's not deserving. Law enforcement, the very men and women I've entitled you to lead and protect and fight for and support and make sure that they get proper equipment and adequate resources to do their job successful, now they're not worthy? You tell me if that's not right. You tell me if I should go absolutely nuclear on this and destroy him. Because I have the power of this office to do a lot of damage to individuals, but I have safeguarded and protected my personal temperament. Even when I was on the chopping axe and people attacked me, I kept my professional decorum and I led this agency the right way with dignity.
And I think this is where Mr. Brimlow, City Manager Brimlow, said that he feels that his life was threatened because the sheriff said he'd go nuclear on him and he'd go after him. So this is where City Manager Brimlow is accused of going to FDLE and filing a police report against the sheriff. So we're going to pick it back up.
Dignity and pride. But now he's attacking you. My salary don't change. It's controlled by the state. But he's attacking everyone in this room, and he's throwing his middle finger up to everyone in this room. So you're going to have to be vocal. You're going to have to get involved. Your union presidents are here, and this is why. All this supporting and endorsing individuals comes to a halt. Even the ones who support us, until they vote the right way, we're done. I don't give endorsements specifically for this reason. I've been called over 2 elections for endorsements. I say absolutely not. Because the moment I go to bed with these people and they get what they want, they're going to turn their back on you. And this is proof of concept right here, today, right now. So I don't play politics. If I'm going to fight for you, as I have, whether it be the state attorney, the governor, whomever, I'm fighting for you. Now you're going to saddle up and you're going to fight for yourself. Union presidents, get on their ass. Put the pressure on them. Because they're being misguided by an individual who have for several years working under my command said, everybody deserves a raise. You're right, Sheriff, go get them. Now, this is my plan and approach. No dismissal to my partners here and our union presidents, but this was my plan. I instituted this salary study. I didn't ask what you guys needed. I wanted to see factual data points about what is happening and why are we losing so many talented damn individuals in this agency. And the numbers are clear. This is 30 years of compounding effect that has put us in a position where we're not getting paid what we deserve and we're putting our lives on the line. And we have a 92% satisfactory rate countywide, which includes Deerfield Beach. And that's being thrown in your face as if you didn't do the work. As if you didn't do the work. This is not a community issue. Do not let this negotiating stuff and articles that you're reading make you think that the community in Deerfield don't respect you and that they don't appreciate you and that they don't admire and they agree that you should be paid. They agree that you should be paid. This is coming down to one stopgap measure, one individual who has his own agenda to create his own police department and to create his own fire rescue and dismiss the decades of service, of outstanding service that you provided in the blood and tears that you left on those damn streets. As if he didn't know what this agency was about. So I know where my war path is. I'm not going to stop. If I got to raise $1 million against him,
stop it right
as
now.
a non-elected official to share this message, the check will be written. But
And also that's where I think too, Mr. Brimlow probably took that as a threat about raising money. I think that was another point too. Just wanted to add that. Let's continue.
You will get paid what you deserve. It's embarrassing that all these cities have sat and understood, and they all had their own grievances. Every single one was concerned about this because they were looking at the financial implications from Weston to Parkland to Oakland Park. Every single one had a legitimate concern and question. And when we answered those questions, they were signing on the dotted line and say, Sheriff, let's move forward. Let's keep the best public safety personnel in our county. Let's not give them the Palm Beach. Let's not be the training ground for the rest of the state of Florida. And now we have the one outlier that came from within this house that put time in, who understood the hardships, who saw all the disadvantages that you guys been facing in terms of financial, salaries and tools and equipment. And we finally got all that stuff right in this agency. And we're damn near about to cross the finish line to get this done and move forward and make sure that we never fall 30 years behind on salary studies, and that we consistently do a salary study every few years to make sure we never drop down in that competitive marketplace. So you needed to hear that from me, and you needed to hear it unfiltered. Unfiltered. And I don't give a damn who's friends with him and want to take it back to him. Let him know I'm coming. I'm absolutely coming. I'm absolutely coming. And you guys stand your ground and continue to serve this community, because I'm again reiterate this. This says the people love you. They love you guys. Every time I'm in Deerfield, every email I get, every message, they absolutely love and appreciate the work that you're doing. This is one individual in their own personal agenda who I am going to run over for you.
And again, this is probably where City Manager Rodney Brimlow is being accused of filing a police report against the sheriff, because the language, we do agree that the language is strong, but you know, like he said, he's talking to his people about, you know,
getting them raises.
Yeah, and getting them raises. So I think maybe it may have been taken out of context, but we're going to finish up the video and then we'll discuss that.
Absolutely run over. So you guys stay motivated, you stay charged up. Your raise is coming, it's due, and you've earned every bit of it. And the politics is going to come to an end.
All right, folks. So now you had an opportunity to actually hear firsthand what occurred inside of our roll call. I purposely record everything, and thank God I did, because.
Okay, that's Sheriff Dr. Gregory Toney. That was him at roll call, and the strong language that we were talking about that he used, which allegedly caused City Manager Rodney Brimlow to go and file
allegedly filed.
And we're saying allegedly. We have not seen it, but this is what the sheriff is saying. They now he did. Now this is a fact. He handed out a letter from FDLE today.
Yes, he did.
To the press, to all of the news media there. I'm a little disappointed we didn't get that, but that may be on us that we weren't there.
We usually get it.
We usually get it, but that's on us. So that we didn't make it there. But they handed out a letter from FDLE saying, basically stating that they saw nothing wrong with what Mr. Brimlow, not Mr. Brimlow, but the sheriff said during roll call. And now the sheriff is saying that he is thinking he is going to go and file a report against City Manager Rodney Brimlow. So it's real nasty here in Deerfield Beach.
Something's we're missing, because yesterday in the press conference, Mayor Tondrosky, newly elected Mayor Tondrosky, said that Mr. Brimlow, City Manager Brimlow, did not file a report from what he was told.
Yes.
Now, Mr. Toney held up a paper that he handed out to the local press in South Florida here today, alleging that Mr. Brimlow's name was on the FDLE document, and we're trying to get a hold of that. We're trying to get in touch with Velda Coleman Wright earlier, and Carrie Card, Vita. I'm sorry, a friend. Vita is a friend of our podcast, longtime sheriff office employee. We're trying to get that document, because as soon as we get it, we were hoping to have it. We were going to put it up on the screen here. We were going to put it up on the screen here today, but something is amiss here, because The mayor of Deerfield is saying that Mr. Brimlow did not file the report. Sheriff Tony held the document up that he gave to the media today, saying that Mr. Brimlow's name was on the FDLE report.
And he read it off too. So I don't believe that he's just sitting there ad-libbing and reading off of something else. He read an actual report from FDLE. So at this point, you got to believe him. You know, he has something from FDLE that has Mr. Brimlow's name in it. You know, I was hoping that it didn't, but
read some of the comments too, because we got great comments from everyone. I mean,
let's go back up to the top here. Let's start right here. Let's start here. Terra Porter says, sound like some residue left over from BSO relationship that's spilling over and it's affecting the city and the citizens. That's true.
Yes, it is.
Patricia Arnold said exactly. Deerfield is my hometown. I grew up, and it's really sad. Yeah. Somebody needs to come to an agreement, and they do need to come to an agreement. Tony Sands said you are correct. The group's fighting, and the citizens are in the middle.
Yes.
Pastor Keith Williams said FDLE said they investigated it and that nothing true of was found what the sheriff is stating.
Yes.
And we heard the sheriff say that too. And Calandra Sands said, I saw it. Patricia Saunders said, and this is a little interesting. She said, Brimlow needs to go to jail because he also lied. This is allegedly by Patricia Saunders. We're just reading a comment that Mr. Brimlow needs to go to jail because he also lied in the deposition against me, and when Adam Hoffstein illegally arrested me and violated my First Amendment rights on January the 9th, 2024, Brimlow has had several allegations brought up against him when he was working for BSO, and one of those allegations was solicitation of prostitution. Wow, I never heard that before. But after I have done several records requests over several months, came to find out that Brimlow had put in requests at BSO to have his dirty files burned, which should have never happened. Wow, I never heard that before.
Yeah, I never heard that either.
These are the comments that we are just reading that some of our viewers have left. Hopefully these are just allegations, but if it's true, then I'm sure it'll come out. Terra Porter said his words were inappropriate. Well, I do think Sheriff Tony words were taken out of context.
Yes, I agree.
And if you work in government, you know that people cuss all the time. Okay.
Yeah. And we all say some things at times where we really shouldn't, and we go back and regret it. And I'm quite sure Sheriff Tony probably regret that he made some of those statements.
Yeah, he's passionate. He's a passionate guy. We all see him on TV, and if you've ever met him in person, what you see is what you get. He's the same person.
Yeah.
He's just a passionate person. But I think you need to tone down the language a little bit? Yes, I think he does so we could come to have this agreement settled if it's going to be one. Derek Moore said that they've never liked Sheriff Tony from the beginning. Tyrone Hill says, when a black man speaks up for what's right, it becomes a problem. All I can see is Mr. Tony is speaking up for his office.
He's speaking up for his officers. There's no doubt about that. But it's also a other side to it that where Mr. Brimlow as city manager, he has to watch the tax dollars here. So it's a tough balancing act that Mr. Brimlow and others, especially the command staff at the Deerfield Beach Sheriff Department, are in right now.
Right. So Terra Porter says there was no physical threat. Derek Moore says strong language is for a strong emotion. This is the leader that everyone wants at their job fighting for them. Okay. And Patricia Saunders came back and said some people like to call out strong black people when they speak up about the truth.
That's true.
And that's true that we got some of that when we got a lot of that.
We got a lot of that
for the city of Deerfield Beach. And
we
spoke out about different things that we didn't.
We saw it happen.
That we didn't really care for as being taxpayers and employees there, and they came after us. They labeled us as the worst 2 employees that ever worked for the city of Deerfield Beach. We were just short of being a terrorist.
Yeah,
we were just that bad, So
we saw that happen. I saw it firsthand experience.
It happened to us
as a man.
And Patricia Saunders said some people, I read that comment already. Sheriff Tony is not going to tell a lie. Okay. Derek Moore.
He said, I would think Sheriff Tony would be the one to know anyone filed a police report.
Right.
Richard Saunders said she have receipts.
She said she have receipts.
Yeah.
Maybe could you email those to us, Miss Saunders? If Adams Brothers POD at gmail.com. We'd like to take a look at them and see for ourselves. He's sick. He's sick of them playing games. A lot of people are.
I'll put it in the chat, Miss Sanders. I'll put our email address in the chat, and you can just send us that.
Right. It's at the bottom of the ticker there. It's the same email address.
No, that's for the Zelle. That's for the Zelle. I'll put it in the chat though.
Okay, so Patricia Saunders said, "How can you send the documents? You can email them to us."
Yeah, I'll put the email address in the chat right now. But you can
Wayne
go
is
on
gonna
there.
put them in the email. Put them in the chat. So again, that was at roll call. Okay, that was what started it all. And we have a letter. Do you want to read the letter? I have the letter here, but I haven't. I was trying to pull up the letter.
Put this in there.
And we were going to read the letter that started everything from the sheriff, the sheriff's office, that said that they were going to terminate services and begin that 2-year transition period, allegedly. And they sent the city of Deerfield Beach a letter. So we have that letter, but for some reason, I'm just learning some things here. We shared the video, and we have the letter, but Wayne is going to read it. And it started from the letter, and then it went to the city manager presenting his facts to the commission, and then the sheriff came back with his rebuttal with the roll call, and then we're going to go back to the press release the mayor had when we come back from reading this. We're going to have Mayor Drosky's press release from yesterday, and then we're going to have the press release from Sheriff Dr. Gregory Tony that was just released today. So go ahead, Wayne.
Yes, this letter here, this memo here was June 23rd, 2025, and it was addressed to City Manager Brimlow. And it says contract for police and fire service. I don't actually see, it's from the Office of the General Counsel. And this is what the letter says. It says, Dear City Manager Brimlow, the Broward Sheriff Office is in receipt of your letter of May 30th, 2025, requesting a reduction to the proposed consideration for police and fire services for next fiscal year. As you are aware, BSO has been the contract partner to Deerfield Beach since 1990. During that time, the contract for services included a 5% cap on personnel costs. Due to constraints placed upon BSO by the caps, BSO has lagged behind other agencies in the salaries it can offer its employees. As such, BSO salaries are not in line with other agencies in the area. BSO command met with you and outlined our need to increase salaries to retain quality employees to work in the city of Deerfield Beach. It was our hope that the city would partner with us in good faith to allow the increases to be spread out over a 2-year period. It says your letter indicating that you are unwillingly to waive the 5% cap on personnel costs and place BSO in a very difficult and unwanted position. BSO cannot continue to provide the police and fire services at the current level within the 5% cap that has been placed for 35 years. If the city is unwilling to agree to these increases, the only recourse BSO has is to terminate the contracts for police and fire services effective September 30th, 2025. After that date, the transition provisions in the contract will be in effect. As such, if BSO is not notified of a change in the city's position by June 30th, 2025, please allow this letter to serve as a notice of termination of the police and fire service agreement effective on that date. which was June 30th, 2025. The letter said, "We did not come to this decision lightly. Our preference is to reach a consensus on the agreement that is acceptable to both parties to allow BSO to continue working with the city long into the future and to provide the exceptional level of services that we have provided for over 3 decades. We stand ready to meet with you to discuss a new agreement should you wish to do so, which will allow BSO to." That was from
the sheriff's office.
That was from the Office of the General Counsel
to
City Manager Rodney Brimlow, and that was June 23rd, 2025.
And that letter was shared during the commission meeting. I believe it was. I think I was watching that night. So that is the original letter that got it started. Okay, and then the city manager took that letter and he presented it to the commission, which is his job. And then he presented some facts about that to the commission, and some numbers, I guess, that his staff and his directors and had come up with. And then I guess there was another letter that was supposed to have been sent back out or whatever. But that's when the roll call came in, and you just heard the roll call. And there had been some communications, according to the sheriff, that he has his phone log that he shared. He shared with the press. He said, he said, I'm sharing my phone log with you all to let you all know that I've been calling them. So he shared that. We have public records requests in for that as well. We don't have it. It just was released to the press today. Even though we're the press, we weren't there. So we don't have it. So again, the roll call happened, and now the alleged, police report to the FDLE. They're alleging that Mr. Brimlow didn't do it, but Sheriff Tony is saying that he did do it. So we don't know what to believe. We don't have the letter that was released today, but one side is saying that he did do it, the other side is saying that he didn't. So we're going to take a call. Lower that for me, please. All right, let's see. We're going to bring in, we got Dan Hertz here, I think, calling in.
Dan Hertz. To accept, press 1. To send a voicemail, press 2.
Okay, we have Mr. Dan Hertz. He's calling in on the Adams Brothers hotline here. So hello, Mr. Hertz.
And Mr. Hertz is a former candidate for mayor of the city of Deerfield Beach, longtime activist here in this city. So.
Welcome to the show, Mr. Hertz.
Hey, thank you so much for letting me spend a couple minutes with you guys. And let me also compliment you guys. I didn't find out about the Tony press conference today until I went to your site and caught part of it live and then watched the whole replay. And it was an amazing press conference. And the thing that I just want to get across in a couple minutes is just to get the information out. I'm not a big fan of BSO, and I'm not a big fan of many things that go on in this city. But what I always want is to get the information out so that people can make their own decisions. And Tony alluded to this, that of some kind of personal agenda that he felt Rodney Brimlow has. And I just want to lay out a couple facts that you should know. And obviously, Tony didn't come to that decision to say that publicly unless he felt pretty strongly that was the case. So they met, the city met with BSO way back in April. And at that meeting, the BSO and Tony's representatives brought out the study that Evergreen Solutions had done. And it's the same Evergreen Solutions that the city hired a couple years ago when they did their own pay and class study. And it showed that because of these 5% caps year after year after year, the salary structure had fallen way behind. And that was an issue because they were losing too many officers as training grounds for other municipalities. So with that information, that's when they requested, hey, based on this, we want a 10.7% increase this time around. And instead, at that point of getting into serious back and forth negotiations with BSO, the city decided to play hardball at that moment and say, nope, you've got a 5% cap in this contract. But the city knew that there was a 90-day out clause in that contract. And when they were trying to spin it that, the BSO is canceling the contract, they knew that there was still a 2-year transition period and nothing, the world wasn't going to come to an end on September 30th. But if they knew that there was a 90-day clause in that contract, then that's not when you play hardball with BSO. You sit down with them and you negotiate back and forth, which Brimlow, for whatever personal reasons, decided not to do. And they didn't let the citizens know that anything was wrong until June 28th, the night of the gala, because they knew that the Sun Sentinel was putting out an editorial that day online urging Deerfield Beach to stay strong and don't give in to the extortion plot of BSO. So when this moves forward, and then you find out today in the press conference that there was information that Brimlow had that he did not share with the public and with the commissioners at the commission meeting on August 5th.
Was that the letter?
It just makes you wonder.
Was that the letter that the major said that he had sent to the commission that allegedly the city manager didn't share with them publicly?
It was what he alluded today as the 3 options.
Yes,
right.
That they gave the city, and he went over what option 1, option 2, and option 3. Mm-hmm. And they said that when Brimlow heard option 2 about the freezing the positions, he didn't even want to hear what option 3 was, and option 3 would have saved the city even more money and gotten us back to the 5% cap in the contract.
Right. We have that video
according to BSO. Right. They didn't want to even, right. The Brimlow didn't even want to hear it.
Yeah.
And then you find out today also that there's a commissioner that is refusing to meet.
We heard that. We heard that.
Commissioner Tom Plott.
We heard that.
I would hope Commissioner Tom Plott would. I met Tom Plott. He's a very nice guy. I don't know how you feel about him or others, but I met him. He's a nice guy. I would hope Mr. Plott would go sit down. And talk with the sheriff, not just. He
specifically called out Commissioner Tom Plott today on during the press conference, so that's why we're using his name, because he used it publicly. So we're just regurgitating what the sheriff said.
Well, finish up, Mr. Hurst. We don't want to make you lose your thoughts on what the points you were making.
No, that's fine. But my point is that it's only now, and it's extraordinary the information that Sheriff Tony shared today. Yeah. But at least now the taxpayers and the citizens, we start to get an idea of the full picture here.
Mm-hmm. And I wasn't trying to cut you off when I said finish up. I was just go on with what the point you were making. I just want to be clear on that.
Go ahead.
That's my point. I mean, you cannot hide things. It's bad enough when they hide things from the taxpayers, but according to Tony, he was hiding things from the commissioners, which is just, when Tony said, and I thought it was out of anger when he said Brimlow should be fired immediately. I mean, if this is true that he was withholding information from the commissioners, I don't know how it's possible to have faith in the man going forward.
Right. We watched that whole video, the press release.
Yeah. And I do have it. I can't confirm where I got this from, but I do know that Sheriff Tony has been invited to come to next week's commission meeting.
Okay.
I do not know if he has accepted it yet, but I know that one commissioner actually formally invited him to come next week. And I think that's a great idea. And I'd like to see that because transparency is good.
It is.
You know, it's not a bad thing. So I just wanted to kind of fill in some of the missing pieces, guys. And I appreciate all the information you're putting out.
Also, Mr. Hurst, thank you. Thank you for that. But I want to ask you a question too. Mr. Hurst, how do you feel about BSO? Do you would like to see BSO the city? Would you like to see BSO continue to serve Deerfield Beach, or would you like to see the city form their own department back again?
Well, if I had won, I would have sat down with the city of Pompano, and I would have worked together as a team and explore the options of going in-house, but with another city of comparable size that could have shared the cost with us, because it's so prohibitively expensive to form your own police force. And of course, the city would just say, well, we're just going to have to raise property taxes to pay for it.
That's how they have to do.
And of course, because it's public safety, you know, it would be hard for anybody to oppose it. Because of the implications of, oh, you're not for public safety. I think, I hate to put it this way, but I think at this point, the lesser of the two evils is to stay with BSO, because I would not want an internal police force that had Rodney Brimlow's fingerprints all over it.
Yeah.
So I would, you know, it's a tough decision, but now that I see that BSO is more than willing to meet the city, you know, partially, it looks like something. And the other thing too is that people forget the contract was going to end anyway, March 31st of 26.
Right.
So why wasn't Rodney Brimlow as head of public safety? Why wasn't he working on this all those years when he was in that position? Now, why does it come down to this is always a last minute, you know, your head against the wall type situation? And also Mayor Gant said it publicly. I'm not saying anything that he didn't say at the time. One of the reasons they hired Rodney Brimlow to be the head of public safety was because of his intimate knowledge of BSO and fire and the cost savings that they thought that he'd be able to bring to the table.
Yeah. Right. I remember Commissioner Preston told me the same thing years ago when we were just talking about it, just a casual conversation. Those were some great points that you made, Mr. Hurst. So we always glad to have you. And anyone can call in. I mean, you know, if you got something else, we want to be fair. I mean,
anything else before we let you go, Mr. Hurst?
No, again, just thank you so much for the time, and keep up the great work that you guys are doing.
Thank you, Mr. Hurst.
Thank you for calling in.
Take care.
All right, that was Mr. Dan Hurst calling in, and we do know that City Manager Brimlow watches our podcast. We do know that Sheriff Tony watches our podcast when he gets a chance, and if they're out there watching right now, if you call in. We'll be more than happy to put you on the air. We've put in some requests to talk to the sheriff. We know he's busy right now. Got a lot going on. City Manager Rodney Brimlow, if you're out there watching right now, if you'd like to call in and for clarification, you can.
Anyone. I mean, past or present elected officials here in Deerfield, you're welcome to call in with any clarifications. We want to hear from everyone. Me personally, as I'll say it again, and I'm going to continue. I would like to see the sheriff department. I would like to see them work things out, and the sheriff department continue to.
We got somebody calling in again. Lower that over there, the intro. All right, let's see who's calling in right now.
Call from.
Can you turn your radio down too?
Hang on.
Voicemail, press 2.
Hello, caller, and welcome to the show. You're going to have to turn your volume all the way down, please.
We can hear all kind of echoes.
Please turn your volume all the way down, ma'am or sir. Whoever you are, please turn your volume all the way down.
Because we can hear feedback in our headphones and our headset.
Yeah.
Can you hear me now?
Yes,
Yes.
we can hear you.
Yes.
All right. Hey, what's going on, man? You brother.
All
Good,
right.
good.
Give
Give
us
us
your name,
give
your
us your
name for the
name.
record.
Give us your name for the record.
It's Tyrone.
Okay. Hey, Tyrone.
What's going on?
Good, good.
Hey, man. Only thing I can see is Sheriff Tony. He's speaking up for his officers, man. You know, and I think those guys out there putting their lives on the line every day,
They do.
and they deserve a raise. And look at the economy now. How it's so messed up, man.
Right.
And for Mr. Brimlow, I mean, he used to be a sheriff, right?
Yes, he was in the exact. He was once over Deerfield. He was over our Deerfield district back around 2019 or 20, somewhere like that. Yeah.
And so, I mean, it's crazy the way. I mean, you know, law enforcement officers, man. I mean, them people, like I said, they putting their life on the line every day. They deserve it, man.
Yeah.
And I don't see anything wrong with what Mr. Tony said. I don't think he was out of character or anything.
That's what we want to hear. We want to hear
It's
people's
strong
opinions
language.
on that too.
Yeah. All right. I work for the government, man, and people talk like that all the time in government.
Okay, but you know something? Let me tell you something. Our color, when it comes to a black man outspoken, is a problem, especially when he's speaking up for what's right. And I've seen the thing on TV. I don't see nothing what he said wrong was threatening or anything.
Right.
But it's just crazy, man.
Also, Tyrone, I want to ask you a question. I want to ask you a question too. Mr. Brimlow is the city manager. He used to be, of course, he worked for BSO. Do you see his position here as city manager wanting? Because if I remember right, and I hope I'm right, the sheriff wanted all the, he wanted the 10%, I believe, maybe up front and maybe over 2 years from what I saw, we saw in the letter. And can you understand Mr. Brimlow's part? He's not in law enforcement now. He's on the city. He's on the city side, so he has to protect the taxpayers' cost too.
Before you answer that, Tyrone, hang on a second, Wayne. Before you answer that, Tyrone, if you got your volume up on your phone or your computer, just turn it all the way down for us, please.
Yeah, because
we're getting some feedback. It gives us feedback on our end. So whatever you're listening to us on, just turn it all the way down for us, please.
Well, if you're near the car radio, kind of get away from that.
Yeah.
Okay.
Yeah.
Is this better?
Yeah,
yes.
Much
we don't
better.
hear that feedback.
Yeah, we get it.
Okay. Now, what was the question again, Wayne?
Mr. Brimlow, he's the city manager now. Of course, he was with BSO, and his job here now is to protect the taxpayers, the costs. Can you understand his position where he stands at? And I definitely understand Tony's position of wanting to give his men and women of that agency raises. But can you understand Mr. Brimlow's point too of protecting the residents from high costs?
Yeah, in a perspective, I do.
Mm-hmm.
But at the same token, let's go to the negotiation table. Let's see,
right.
See what can be worked out.
Right, I agree. Get to the table, man.
Yeah, because BSO. Now BSO, they done been with us for a while. I remember when they came in, and I know you guys do too.
Yes, we remember.
And hey man, I done had run-ins with the law. You know what I'm saying? But still, yet, everybody has a job to do,
and
everybody have a lifestyle that they got to maintain. You know what I'm saying? Like these people got to take care of their families, man.
I don't think nobody has a problem giving those guys a raise It's just that we don't want for it to hurt us all in 1 year. You know, if you're gonna spread it out over a couple of years, you know, you know, I don't think most people have a problem with that, though. You know,
as a taxpayer, that's how I feel. Spread it out. I don't mind giving the raises, but just spread it out. Just spread it out over years to where it doesn't hurt us as taxpayers. Because you got a lot of people here in the city on all districts just living paycheck to paycheck.
Exactly.
And on Social Security.
That's right. You're right about that.
Yeah. All right, Tyrone. Anything else before we let you go?
No, man, that's about it, man. I appreciate you guys. You guys doing a very good job, man.
Thank you, man. We appreciate you.
Thank you, Ty, man. We appreciate you, man.
Good to get your input too.
Yeah, man, no problem, man. You guys continue to get that news out there where everybody can hear it. And y'all be blessed, man.
You too.
Thank you, Tyrone.
All right.
That was Tyrone, Mr. Tyrone Hills, Deerfield Beach resident, long time Deerfield Beach resident, calling in. But the video that we've been talking about, before we get too far into this, we have it. We have the press conference, the press release from Mayor Todd Drosky that we would like to play, because this is in response to the roll call video that we played earlier. Okay, so this is now we're going to play the press release by the mayor. Someone is calling in right now. Whoever's calling in right now, hold it for right now.
Hold your call. We're gonna play about a 6 minute video, and please call back because we want to hear everyone's input. Please just give us a chance to play this video and call as soon as the video and we finish our saying what we're gonna say. Please call back. We want to hear from everyone that we can.
All right, this is gonna be City of Deerfield Beach Mayor Todd Drosky. This is his press release from this is Wednesday. This was released on Tuesday, I believe, right?
Yes, yesterday.
Yeah. It was released on yesterday. So the City of Deerfield Beach Mayor Todd Drosky right here.
Thank you all for coming out here this afternoon. I first want to let you know that this is not a dispute that we have with the men and women that put on the uniform every day. I understand that when they put on that uniform every day, they take their life into danger, and I certainly respect that and certainly admire the work that they do. This is not a dispute with them. This is a dispute that we have with one of our many contract vendors in the city of Deerfield Beach. This is a marriage that we've had with BSO for many, many years. We did not elect to get divorced. We were served with divorce papers. And as a result, we have to come up with options that's in the best interest of our residents in the city of Deerfield Beach. Our city manager has informed us routinely at every public city commission meeting that we've had regarding the economics of the situation and potential options going forward. And so we as a commission are debating those options, but it's up to the contract vendor to put this marriage back together. We did not ask to be put in this situation.
Can you talk about what the sheriff was asking and why that was not reasonable?
Well, this is the way that it's worked for all the years, is that we have a 5% cap in our contract with BSO, and every year we get a letter from our contract vendor, the sheriff's office, setting forth the amount for the next year. And we send a letter back saying whether they're within that 5% cap or not. This year we received a letter exceeding the 5% cap, and the response from the sheriff was a letter of termination starting September 30th for the services in Deerfield Beach. We did not pick this fight.
And that was the letter that Wayne just read earlier.
Right, from June 30th or whatever it was.
Right, yeah. And it was in response to the sheriff department requesting a 10.7% increase instead of the 5% that's in the contract.
Agreed upon in the contract, yes.
He's saying that it's not been terminated. That's the official word from them.
The record is absolutely different than that. If you care to look at the correspondence in the case, his letter to the city of Deerfield Beach is a termination of services effective September 30th.
Well, not yet. It's only on something. It's 2005.
We do, yes. In any marriage, there's an opportunity to salvage it, but the sheriff needs to negotiate in good faith going forward with the city to stick to the contract that we have in place.
What
Let me ask you about Mr. Brimlow, because he's accusing Mr. Brimlow of filing a false police report with FDLE. He says he would not hesitate to arrest anyone in this county who does such a crime, as he calls it. He says he should be terminated immediately. Did Mr. Brimlow file a police report or file a report with FDLE saying that he was threatening someone?
My understanding is no. Mr. Brimlow did not file that report with FDLE. And it's quite disappointing, to be honest with you, for the sheriff to be using that language to the city. This is a contract vendor. So for him to be suggesting that we should fire our city manager while we're trying to put a marriage together, quite frankly, is counterproductive.
Okay, let's stop it right there.
Yeah.
The mayor just said that city manager Rodney Brimlow, that wasn't true, that he didn't file a report with FDLE, but the sheriff today handed out a letter from FDLE stating that Mr. Brimlow
name was on it.
Brimlow's city manager Brimlow's name was in it. Again, we wasn't there, and we didn't get a copy of it yet. But he did hand out a letter today, and he read it. If I'm not mistaken, didn't he? He read the letter.
I think he did.
I think he read the letter.
Yeah, he did. He read it. Yes.
We have a public request in for that letter right now. So the sheriff is saying that he did do it. So we're not saying he did, and we're not saying that he didn't. So we're just going by from what we're hearing. So we're gonna pick it up.
The sheriff says all he's doing is just advocating for his deputies, that he just wants what's fair, and that they're underpaid. So that you say what?
We have no dispute with the salary study that the sheriff's office has done, that the men and women of the sheriff's office deserve more money. But it has to be within the contract or the parameters that we have with them. So the sheriff is asking for more money, and when we ask him to justify where those excess dollars are going, we have not received a response.
Are you willing to go above the 5% cap?
For the first year, this year we have a 5% cap. I don't see any reason why we should go against the terms of our contract that we have in place, and future years are subject to negotiation, but those negotiations have to be in good faith, and we haven't seen that yet.
What impact would this have on residents? They would be taxpayers who would have to ultimately pay for that increase, correct?
Ultimately, yes, but the taxpayers are not going to see any service levels changes in the city of Deerfield Beach. Beginning October 1st, if we go into the 2-year wind-down period, they will not see any difference. The men and women that perform those great services to us on a daily basis will continue to do so with the valor that they do every day, and that will not change.
When the sheriff said I should go absolutely nuclear on him and destroy him because I have a lot of power, and said I'm coming, I'm absolutely coming, and then said going to absolutely run over your city manager, do you take that in context as a threat physically?
You know, it's very disappointing to hear that language from the sheriff. Again, when we're trying to put a marriage together, that's terminology that I would not use. And he doesn't know what the city manager is telling us at our commission meeting, because quite frankly, he's never been to one.
Do you have faith in Mr. Brimlow, and is it true he's not coming to City Hall anymore?
My understanding is he's not coming to City Hall for the short period of time, and I have full confidence in the city manager to perform his duties going forward. Absolutely, yes.
Can this be resolved, do you think?
According to the city of Deerfield Beach, it can be, but in this marriage, it takes 2 equal partners. So we need our partner, our contract vendor, to negotiate in good faith going forward.
Sorry, I missed that. He's not coming to City Hall anymore. What's that? Okay, Frank.
The city manager. Based upon the roll call that the sheriff had, that he is elected to work remote for the time being.
So he does feel like he's being threatened?
You'd have to talk to the city manager as to what's inside of his head, but for the time being, yes, correct.
We have requested an interview with him.
Mm-hmm.
So
you're okay with that, Mayor? He doesn't.
What's in his best interest for him and his family, so long as he continues to provide the great service to the city of Deerfield Beach, I'm okay, yes.
The sheriff is making all these allegations. They're putting out this information.
I would love for the sheriff to come to a meeting of the city of Deerfield Beach, our commission meeting, and explain to us what misinformation he thinks that we are not getting, because I am fully versed in the situation from my city manager. He has given us all of the information. So if there's something that the sheriff thinks is missing, I invite him to come to a meeting, but I'm not aware of anything that's missing from the record at this time.
Good? You guys good?
Unless there's anything else you would add.
Is there anything else you want to add?
Well, I just want to reiterate, that again, this is not about the men and women who provide the service. This is not about them. They are the children stuck in the middle of this divorce, and it's up to the parents to figure it out. But we need the sheriff to meet us halfway.
Do you want a police force? I was going to say, are you prepared to, if this divorce does go through, to build from scratch a Deerfield Beach Police Department?
We are looking at every option available going forward, including our own police and fire department, yes.
I would like to thank Rebecca Medina and her staff for putting the graphs that where you can hear what the reporters were saying while they was asking the questions, because a lot of times you hear just the question being answered and you don't hear you hear the person answering the question, but the staff was able to put what was being said for us to visualize and see. So I again kudos to the Office of Department of Public Affairs and Marketing, Rebecca Medina and her staff, who does a marvelous job over at the city of Deerfield Beach.
Yeah, absolutely. So again, that was the press conference from the mayor, City of Deerfield Beach Mayor Todd Drosky yesterday, and he was saying that the sheriff does not attend any of the meetings in City of Deerfield Beach, and which he's been accused of that, with other cities.
Yes. Pompano, we were at a town hall meeting last year.
They said it in Pompano, but the sheriff said it, even if you don't see him there
his door is open.
He has his top level brass members attending, and he relies on them heavily to get him accurate information. And if they don't, he wouldn't hesitate to fire them if he found out that they didn't. So
he said that today.
And
he said his door is always open to any city official. He said he left his invitation open to the mayor and anyone else. He said 3 people were down there today. I know he said I don't know who the 3 was, but I think it was Vice President,
the Vice Mayor,
probably Mr. Hudak, Commissioner Hudak, and I would say probably Commissioner Shinesky, because Commissioner Plott said that he wouldn't go. I would hope he would reconsider going and sitting and talking again. As a comment was made earlier, we tell our kids every day to talk it out. We as adults talk. We, all the tough talking and war words. I would hope that would stop. But go on, Daryl, and finish what you were getting.
I was just gonna say, I would hope, and this is a plea to Sheriff Tony. We know you live in the area. Please stop by one commission meeting yourself. Please, since it's gotten to this point, a lot of back and forth.
Yeah. Sheriff Israel did it.
Yeah, just come to at least one city commission meeting. The next one, I believe they have one next week.
Next Tuesday, and address the community, address the people.
Just come to one and just show up, and we can iron all of this out. If we're gonna stay with BSO, we're gonna stay with BSO. If they're gonna end it, then let's move forward with the transition process. So us taxpayers don't get caught up in the middle of this, because right now they're talking about developing Dixie Highway with all of this back and forth. No one's
going to want to come here.
Will want to come here. Who will want to bring their business here?
Not from what we're seeing on the news, and we got cousins calling us that see this.
Yeah,
they see it and they're like, "This is not a good look for your city."
Yeah,
it's not.
And now that was the mayor's press conference. So we're gonna go and we're gonna play today's press conference. It's kind of long. I don't know if we should play the whole thing.
No, because it's like 46 minutes long.
46
you have to keep speeding it up to where you think the most important points
we're gonna
that
just
he made.
Speed it up.
FDLE, where he talked about with the to say what Mr. Drosky, Mayor Drosky said that Mr. Brimlow did not file a police report. I think we can go to that, where Sheriff Tony held the document up and read what he said. What he said. We can just play it.
We're gonna have to just skip through it. So I'm not sure what we didn't get a chance to go through and find out what the stopping points are.
Right.
But so we're just gonna kind of skip through it a little bit.
As they come in, just let them through the door, guys, and we'll get rocking and rolling.
The volume may be a little
Good
low.
afternoon, folks. Thank you for joining us here today. I called this press conference, and quite frankly, I had no intentions on calling a press conference, and that's no shot at the media. This was one of these
today.
items where I felt
This is the press conference that happened today.
So we were making, from my position as a sheriff, as administrator, reaching out enough to my elected parties to express the concerns I had with the contract negotiations that's been occurring with Deerfield. As you all know, we did a salary study that was conducted that came back with some interesting data points that showed how far behind the sheriff's office was in terms of providing fair and competitive pay. And we have been sitting for months with city managers that we contract with repeatedly. And I say we as my representatives. I have with me Major Chris DiGiovanni, who runs the North Command, the Undersheriff, and I have our Fire Chief Tim Keefe, as both of these applications of our first responder community with law enforcement and fire rescue services are being impacted by this. So let me paint a story a little bit. You guys seen that I released just recently the comments I made within our roll call briefing, and the assertiveness and the aggressive tone about making sure that we hold everyone accountable, and that we also give these elected officials an opportunity to be informed thoroughly and get all the facts. And that has not happened completely. But what I will tell this community, what has occurred at my request over the last several days, is I've had three commissioners come in, sit down. We've done a comprehensive overview of what our proposal looked like. We've showed these commissioners, including the vice mayor who left here less than an hour ago, having sat down with him for 2 hours, showed him the differentials in terms of what we provided in the proposal for the public, for the city of Deerfield, in contrast to what the city manager has failed to disclose to them.
So he's saying that three of the elected officials from Deerfield Beach showed up, and they his staff provided them with accurate information, and they left there today with a better understanding. That came right from the sheriff just now. So
The consistent comment as they walked out of the room was they were very informed, and they've all learned new information that was not presented by their city manager. So let me give some clarifications here. The people of Deerfield Beach will not suffer any loss in our public safety services. That is clear, that is non-negotiable, and we have never presented some threat that we would depart. We've sent consistent contractual letters advising different legal rights that the city have in their contracts, as well as that we have as an organization. And that's been cleaned up, again, to the extent that the three individuals who just left here over the last 48 hours sit down and they understand. Secondly, this notion that the sheriff is out here making public threats to kill anyone or harm anyone, regardless of what your sentiments are and how I handle my roll calls and what your positioning is as to what language you think I could use or not. There's one thing that this media can't say and this community can say after watching that video, is that I made some threat to hurt, harm, or injure Mr. Brimlow or anyone else in this county. And so that has become the story of which you are focused on. And guys, I'm going to give you some latitude today. All right, I'm going to answer some of those questions. But what's more important here is that the city understands we are still at this table. We will continue to try to provide them with all the accurate information so that they can make an informed decision on behalf of my constituents, because they're not just the city officials' constituents, they're mine as well. The people of Deerfield voted and supported me in this office, and for every time I'm in that city and communicating with them, they give us high praise and they appreciate the efforts that our men and women have provided in terms of the service in that community. It's been speculated that I don't have any interest to keep the contract, so let me clear that up. Every single relationship and partnership that we have with our city officials is viable, but every city official and commission has the autonomy as elected officials to choose as to whether or not they want to vacate that relationship. I am not in the business of trying to sell city officials on doing what's right for their community. It's my job to educate them and give them all the factual information, and then they can make any decision that they wish. They are held to the accountability degree as I am, which is to the public. And if the public doesn't like the decision making that they've instituted or that they've made, it's the public rights to either vote them out of office or come and complain about the decisions that they made. This isn't our first time we've dealt with this. We've had this in the South End with another city who decided to vacate out, and it turned into a lot of political nexus. I have purposely and intentionally tried to avoid standing here amongst this community where I'm talking about politics. Our business dealings from operations is the undersheriff, the major, and the fire chief are responsible for all negotiations with our partners. And when they finalize those negotiations, they place a completed packet on my desk to make the final signature or final modifications. That's where we're trying to get. Whether these elected officials choose to vote against BSO and against the men and women's increase in terms of their raises, that will be up to them. But there are severe consequences that will come from that. And the consequences I'm talking about are not fictitious, they're not created. We're living it as we speak. I've had several issues in terms of negotiating with our commission when we had 90 vacancies in our dispatch center and having to fill those vacancies. And the only reason that they were filled was because the commission finally agreed to the salary increases. When I first accepted command of this office back in 2019, we had over 250 law enforcement vacancies. And we had to create a lot of different moves internally with our budget to make sure we filled those vacancies. And we've had success with that. But now we have 100 vacancies in law enforcement now because people are leaving again because they're not getting the pay that they deserve. We have about 80 plus different individuals from fire rescue side in terms of vacancies. Ladies and gentlemen, for every single time that we lose a qualified and professionally trained first responder in this community, it's not a matter of just recruiting and finding another one. It's roughly about $175,000 to get somebody prepared to be a first responder, especially law enforcement officers. They go through the FTO period. That doesn't count as a patrol officer. They're sitting in a car for a year, not contributing independently as an officer. And so we cannot allow for our first responders to continue to leave this community. The end result will be every law enforcement organization, including BSO, hiring substandard employees, and substandard employees will have a higher probability of misconduct and liability in hurting your community, Deerfield Beach, in this particular case. And so, over the span of several weeks, ladies and gentlemen, I have reached out to every single city commissioner and mayor. I'm going to address a few things that I know comes from misinformation and comes from inaccurate statements being made by the city manager and what he has told the mayor.
All right, this is where it's gonna get a little spicy, so pay attention.
I spoke to the mayor on July 2nd, July 3rd, August 8th, 12-minute conversation on August 11th. And I can go down this timeline of what these conversations have been. I've been expressing the importance in the getting in the room and sitting down with us to hear all these facts. As his colleagues just left and they said, wow, new information, we didn't know this. Now the mayor has had other obligations for whatever they may have been, and he's asked me to give him some time to get back in town. And I agreed to that and said, I can wait. When you get here Monday, we'll have a conversation. But this spiral effect of me having to post this statement and get clarity to this community that your sheriff did not threaten anyone's life. Did I advocate for my people? You damn right. Because these people are putting their lives on the line every day for you, as I have done, specifically in Deerfield. If anyone questions my commitment to Deerfield, recall, I'm the only sheriff in the history of this county to jump out of his car off duty and chase down 2 armed individuals shooting up in front of Deerfield Beach just not too long ago. In shorts and a t-shirt, ladies and gentlemen. Everywhere I go in this county, I don't have an off day. When I'm walking Deerfield Beach with my wife, you talk to the residents there and ask them what they see. I'm in a gun belt in shorts with a radio and 2 magazines, prepared to drop everything I'm doing to leave my nieces and nephews scrambling in the public to safeguard Deerfield Beach. But it's not just Deerfield Beach. That is a position I take everywhere I go. For the public who've seen that and know it, you speak on it. So I am not a figurehead sheriff, and I'm not a politician. I'm the chief law enforcement officer of this county, and I will do everything to safeguard those people in Deerfield. My reputation speaks for that. My actions speak for that. So I hate that the mayor jumped out with misinformation. I think Todd's a good man. I think he's trying to do the right thing. But unfortunately, this is what happens when politics is played at the level where employees are exacerbating the situation, where the city manager is putting out false information. I want to correct something here. The mayor mentioned yesterday, and mentioned it without any ill will. I think, understanding this man, he made a comment that the city manager told him he didn't file this false police report. He told the city manager that. He not only missed information and didn't give all the facts about all the contract negotiations, but even after I was directly notified by the Florida Department of Law Enforcement that my name was subject to a criminal investigation where I threatened to kill him, he went back and told the city manager again, the city mayor again, that that wasn't true. So in a moment, ladies and gentlemen, I'm going to give you the Florida Department of Law Enforcement report that was disseminated to me this morning, and you won't have to pass the second sentence, where it states, City Manager Rodney Brimlow, that Broward County Sheriff Gregory Toney may have threatened to do physical harm to Brimlow during a meeting with the Broward County Sheriff's law enforcement and firefighters. I'll further go down, and it states that Sheriff Toney, according to Mr. Brimlow, allegedly made remarks to the attendees that if he saw Brimlow in the parking lot, he would have run him over with his car. Absorb that for a moment.
Now let's pause there for a minute. He just flat out called out City Manager Rodney Brimlow and read his name in that report from the FDLE. And if you remember, the mayor in his press release had said that it didn't happen. So again, you have Sheriff Toney reading a statement from a letter from the FDLE that they just received, and he's
saying he has receipts.
He has receipts that Mr. Brimlow is implicated into this. So you have one side saying that he didn't do it, and then you have the sheriff here reading a letter from the Florida Department of Law Enforcement. So you use your own judgment, whatever you think. We're looking at the same video, people, as you are right now. Let's pick it back up. We're not gonna listen to the whole thing. We're gonna let them finish this though, because it's a long video.
46
and
minutes.
Every single one who's watching this, civilian, former law enforcement officer, media networks, you ask me, would you defend yourself if such an allegation was made? There's one thing to do this nonsense and play this game in a political season. I have a certain tolerance to get that from political candidates who want this office and who are absorbed with the power of this office and obsessed with trying to obtain it. I can accept that. What I can't accept is a former law enforcement officer by which I promoted to captain, who understands probable cause, who understands the merits and elements of crime, to say, I'm going to ignore all that because I have my own agenda, and to such a threshold that he ignores the people's will to have voted me in this office twice. He ignores the will of his own city officials, and he violates ethical standards and business practices. Would you expect me to be quiet and idle and not present that roll call video to you in full transparency? I've stood amongst this community for 7 years, talking about accountability and transparency. Guys, it's not a tagline. That's what we live by now. That's what this agency stands for. And when this community, Deerfield Beach, the rest of Broward County, when you've asked of me to hold people accountable for their wrongdoings, I have not shied away from that obligation to you and for you. And I accept the ripple effect of all the negative things that come at me when I fire uniformed personnel. I accept that my people turn their back against me at times when I do that. Because I've said this before, the hierarchy for me is the people of this community first, the agency, and then my employees. And it's non-negotiable. So, to the mayor, please take the time and make sure you have this meeting with us in the upcoming days. Because there is so much more you need to hear to make an informed decision, and your city manager, as it sits, has zero credibility and has violated the law.
he's accusing the city manager. He's saying that he has zero credibility, and he's also saying that he wants to meet with the mayor and the commissioners. So again, Sheriff Tony, if you're out there watching right now, we know you follow us sometimes when you get a chance. Please show up to the meeting next week. Please show up to the meeting, and let's iron this thing out once and for all. We're going to pick it back up a few more minutes, and then we'll come back with some more comments, okay? This is a long video. We're not going to watch the whole thing.
We need to get back to business. I also want to make this clear. It was asserted, and I think I'll somewhat put the pressure back on the media on this one. A question was posed to the mayor, forcing him to respond as to the sheriff hasn't been to the city commission meetings. Back in 2020, I started something that no sheriff does. I review every single city commission meeting and take notes with my staff on Tuesdays, and my directors and assistant director of government affairs, we sit down and highlight every single point of interest. These men and women standing to my left and right are senior ranking officials that represent me in every room. And so the absence of my presence in a room does not mean I am not there. But to make sure I'm doing my due diligence for the people of this community, I draft every single component of notes with my team, go through them, and ensure I understand what's happening in contract cities and non-contract cities. And so if anyone's curious as to whether or not I had a clear understanding, you'll be able to walk away with all my notes going back from the beginning of the year on every discussion point that we've had, every single comment that was made from the elected officials and bodies, because that's what we do here now. I don't sleep at the wheel, folks. I'm not a part-time employee, unlike most of the elected officials. This is not a full-time job for them to be the mayor or the commissioners. These are part-time positions for them. Your sheriff is 24/7, 365, and he's never off duty. And I'll never be off duty. Whether I'm with my family or not, if there's a gunfight to be had in this city and I'm there, I'm going to defend this city. If there's a fist fight to be had to defend the residents of Deerfield, that fight will be held and I'll be at the front. I shouldn't have to say that 7 years later in the way I performed, but now it's being questioned. The last thing I will say, back to the business at hand. These elected officials have an obligation to hear all the facts. If one of my staff members, I have decorated veterans here who I respect and would put my life on the line for any day of the week. But I will tell you this, as much as I love these men and women standing next to me, if they fail to provide me with accurate information or misinformation, I will fire all three of them right now and everybody else in this building. And you know I'm not joking. So our goal over the next few days is to continue to allow these commissioners to come in here and get a comprehensive overview of what's occurring and what we've offered so that they can make an informed decision. If that decision is they don't believe that these deputies and firefighters who have served here for decades is not deserving of this increase, then so be it. If their decision is that they want to vacate a 35-year relationship based on misinformation and lies and false reporting that their city manager has provided, that too is up for them to make. But I'm not going to sit idly by and allow this organization's integrity to be intact, and I'm most certainly not going to allow for my integrity to be attacked. With that, I'll pause. Tony, you want to start us?
Okay, so now pretty much that's what he's been saying, that all of the information that the city manager, Rodney Brimlow, has been providing to the elected officials in Deerfield Beach has been inaccurate. And that's according to the sheriff. And he's been handing out paper trails that he has kept, and, you know, phone logs and emails and a letter from the FDLE. So he looked like he's been pretty much preparing for this. So,
as we say, receipts. Look like he's
right.
Pulled his receipts.
Right. He's been pulling receipts now. We're not calling anybody a liar. You know, we're looking at the same video that you all have seen. There was a press conference today. We watched it live. So, and we're being told that the city of Deerfield Beach posted something here recently.
They 45 minutes ago.
Go ahead, read it.
They released a statement, and it says, the city of Deerfield Beach stands firmly by its previous statements to the press regarding recent allegations made by Broward County Sheriff Gregory Toney against City Manager Rodney Brimlow. The city stands by the fact that City Manager Brimlow did not file a false criminal complaint against Sheriff Toney and did not provide any false information of the crime to any law enforcement agency. What still remains is this: the Broward Sheriff Office requested a 10% increase in the contract for its fiscal year 2026. When the city refused to agree to the increase, they informed the city that services would be terminated effective September 30th, 2025. The city of Deerfield Beach remains committed to making informed decisions that are in the best interest of its residents and to providing the highest levels of public safety. And that was posted 45 minutes
ago. So
yes.
The city of Deerfield Beach officials and elected officials are apparently standing by what they said,
so we look for Toney to come out with something else again.
But this is why I'm saying, I think Sheriff Toney, if you're out there watching, Sheriff, come to the commission meeting next Tuesday. And let's stop all these press conferences and this and that. Just come to the commission meeting, and you can stand to the podium and you could address the mayor, the vice mayor, the commissioners, the city manager, the city attorney. You could bring your administrative staff with you, your District 10 command staff. They could all show up, Adam and executive officer. Everybody could be there in one room instead of going down to Fort Lauderdale and coming to Deerfield. Everybody needs to get in the same room together. All of the commissioners, the city manager, the sheriff, his brass, his top level admin staff, everybody that's involved, because the taxpayers, the citizens, we're getting caught up in the middle of this right now, and it's getting ugly.
Not a good look.
It's ugly right now. It is very ugly.
Not a good look for our beautiful city here. It's not. Take that down if you ain't.
So again, the video is long. We're not going to play. We're going to remove it from the stage there, and we're going to just talk a little bit about it.
And if anyone's welcome to call in, if anybody else want to call in,
there was a caller called in a little while ago.
But you're welcome to call in from a 501 number.
Let's read some of the comments. So while we were doing the video, people were still posting.
There's some great comments in there too. From everyone.
Patricia Saunders said yes, he is elected, but he said he does like to get together among politicians because he does not like the so-called games they play. He said it again. Tara Porter said, Patricia Saunders, Malik, yes, I understand what you're saying, but that's not what he signed up for. Politics can be nasty, so no way around it. He's got to be in the same room with them. And I agree. He has to be in the same room with them. Ms. Wilson said, Brimlow has always had a bad reputation in the law enforcement community for being grimy and self-serving. Okay. That's Ms. Wilson. That's her opinion. Tara Porter said, I think both the sheriff and the city manager both need to attend the commission meeting next week. That's what I've been saying.
Yes.
They both should be there. Yes. I'm going to keep on saying it. And if I have to send an email down there to the sheriff's office, I will.
Rodney is a Christian man.
He is.
He always talks about his faith. Yeah. Rodney Brimlow is a Christian man. And I just hope they can just sit down. But you can go on and read the finished comments, and I'll finish.
And Patricia said, Tara Porter, no, he don't. It's his choice. And he said he is not a politician. Patricia Saunders, okay. She said, okay. He's got receipts. Oh, my. Tara Porter said the FDLE ain't lying. So probably Brimlow lied to Todd. Did y'all see the letter the city posted on the Facebook website, which Wayne just read there? It was posted at 40-something minutes ago. He should have a no tolerance for foolishness. Gail McFadden said.
The sheriff definitely don't. He don't play. He was right when he said he would fire everyone standing up there next to him.
Yeah.
He means what he's saying
And
there.
Did you see the fire chief's
Kind of look
expression on his face when he said that? He was like,
yeah. Oh, he will.
Yeah, he was like, oh, you know.
Tony will. I mean, I hear people criticize him saying he jumping the gun and union contract, but Sheriff Tony don't mind firing you. Look what he did at Tamarack here with the people out at the high command at Tamarack.
Well, some of those deputies there, they should have
be fired. No,
you don't think they should have been fired?
I don't think some of them deserve to be fired. That guy came there. He killed those 3 people, that husband or boyfriend.
Yeah, but he should have. They had ample time to arrest him, though.
Well, I'm just saying, I don't think they deserve to. All of them deserve to lose their job.
No, not all.
I would have to see. I would have to see more. Maybe it's something more that I don't know. So that's what I'm saying. I think
one of them we know,
but he will hold his deputies accountable.
Yeah.
That's one thing about Sheriff Tony. Whether you like him or not, he holds his people accountable.
Yeah, and that's what you have to have. You have to, you have to hold these employees accountable. I don't care what level of government you work in, the police, law enforcement, fire department, the water department, the sewer, sanitation. It's all government. You have to hold your employees accountable.
And people deserve second chances. I mean, even if
everybody makes mistakes too,
make a mistake. I don't believe you just get rid of someone, right up off the bat. But I mean, this is very serious. I mean, it's like a back and forth of who's telling the truth.
Yeah.
Is it city manager Brimlow or is it the sheriff, Gregory Tony?
It's a lot of back and forth.
And I feel sorry for Adam Hofstein because it's like he's probably caught right up in the middle of all of this.
He has to be.
He worked under Brimlow. Now he's the district chief. Yeah. I feel sorry for the men and women that's out there, like they say, that put their lives on the line. And I don't think they're going to get a whole lot of feedback as far as getting those raises. I mean, I look back at, Rodney Brimlow has an obligation to look out for the tax dollars of the taxpayers of the city of Deerfield Beach. And I understand too, the sheriff wants to give out raises, but it's like with the employees or wherever you work at, the raises can be spread out.
Yeah, I mean, spread out. You don't give it to them in a lump sum.
No.
I work for the government right now, and they don't give me all of my raises in one lump sum. They give them to me and on my annual evaluations. Okay.
And somebody's not telling the truth, Tara. Trust me, someone's not telling the truth. I don't know. I mean, we're gonna find out because Tony is hell bent on putting stuff out. I mean, he's not gonna stop. From what I saw today, I look for another press conference for tomorrow out of him once he sees that letter from the city.
The sheriff is standing his ground, and the city of Deerfield Beach officials and elected officials, they're standing their ground as well. So right now it's a standoff, but guess who is in the middle?
Yeah,
the taxpayers and the citizens. We're in the middle.
Yeah, we are.
We have two. You have the sheriff office over here, and you have the city of Deerfield over here. And remember back in the day when we used to fight out in the streets, the baddest one hit my hand, and then one person hit your hand, and then the other person they hit the opposite person to try to get the fight going to see who's going to fight. Again, the citizens, we're in the middle. Like the baddest person hit my hand, and then you punch the person.
We're caught up.
So we're caught up in the middle.
We're caught up, and I'll say again, it's not a good look.
It's on the news right now.
It's all over the news. Cousins calling from everywhere saying what's going on in Deerfield.
Beach,
This is not good, and honest to God, I mean what I'm saying. Come to some resolution in this, because this making us look like we got over stuff from the past. I think we're moving in an awesome direction here in the city of Deerfield Beach.
We are.
And our law enforcement people, I'm quite sure they feel very uncomfortable too. They're caught up in the middle. And I would just hope, as being a long time resident here, that we can come to some type of resolution. As I say again, if you're gonna go back to your police department, do it, but be transparent about it. And if savings there, be transparent about everything. And I believe, hopefully, I believe they will. But we need to give all the facts to to the residents to make a very informed decision if they're gonna go back to their own police department, which my opinion, from what's been said, and I don't see us going back to BSO.
To BSO or to the City of Deerfield Police Department?
I don't see us going back to BSO. From what I'm seeing, and they say the commissioner said that
right now.
he's not going to meet. I just think everyone just withhold judgment and just sit down and talk, man. And then if they can't come to a resolution, then before we make a knee-jerk reaction and go back to our police department, we need to look at and see, because I don't want to get with our police department here that we go back to, and we're in this same situation 5 years from now where we have policemen and then they're asking for the same thing, and then we're right back at the cost where we're talking. I mean, let's sit down and let's talk reasonable. I mean, like I say, it comes down to dollars and cents.
Yeah. Something has to change. And now, again, I'm making an open plea to the sheriff, Dr. Gregory Tony. Bring your administrative staff to the commission meeting on what's Tuesday? What's Tuesday? Today is the 13th, the Wednesday, Thursday, Friday, Saturday, Sunday, Monday, Tuesday, 13th. The 19th.
Mm-hmm.
Tuesday, August 19th, 7 p.m. Sheriff Dr. Gregory Tony, please bring your staff to the commission meeting, and you all hash it out and get this settled. If you're going to go with the city, the City of Deerfield, if you're going to go with the contract with BSO, go with them. If not, you're going to form your own police department, then start that transition period.
Yes.
But we need to stay out of the news right now.
Yeah.
Okay. Enough is enough.
Yeah, it is. Enough is enough is enough is enough.
Forth,
we don't need TMZ, Miss Sanders, to come here. We don't. It's very funny. We needed that. We needed that to lighten the moment. But Mr. Hurt said earlier that he from reliable sources that he heard that the sheriff might be making an appearance at the meeting.
Hopefully so.
Tuesday.
Hopefully so.
Yeah. And that would be good. That would be good for the sheriff to come, and I think it would be a goodwill gesture for our city.
Patricia Sanders said, I gotta read this comment here. She said, if the city gets their own police department and Brimlow is still city manager, all hell is going to break loose in Deerfield Beach. Why do you say that, Miss Saunders?
You want to call in? You're welcome to call in. But me talking to people, I mean, I just spoke to someone, just text me earlier before we went on, and they were like, they dread going back to Deerfield Beach. I mean, and I have said this numerous of times on here when we had our police force, they were not kind towards Black Americans here. They were not. And
we got robbed all the damn time.
They violated our rights big time here. And that has always been my fear. I have been saying that. I'm not afraid. I'll say it. They made us feel uncomfortable. They ran us off of the park, told us we couldn't be on the West Side Park. I mean, it was just all chaos. That was one of the reasons why we went to the Broward Sheriff Office. Like it or not, whatever you like, whether you like Sheriff Tony or not, I'm just telling you how it was here when the Deerfield Beach Police was here. They did what they wanted to do back in those days. And I know people are going to say times have changed, but I'm here. I'm 58 years old, almost 59 if God let me see here in a few weeks. But I saw the chaos that was here with Deerfield. I lived through it. I had the gun put to my head. I have been snatched out of the car, okay, with a gun to the back of my head. I've been sitting in my car, gathering my food out, getting ready to get out at night. And this guy, McDonald, I still remember his name, runs up with a Beretta 92 FS and sticks it to my head. I lived through that. So no, I'm not no fan of going back. I mean, I'm not. And I know BSO will did the same thing, probably the people around here. I heard the stories about them too, but I would hope that we can work it out, and whatever it's going to come down to dollars and cents. Yeah. And if it's going to be beneficial towards the taxpayers of Deerfield Beach, then I'm quite sure our commission is going to make an informed decision to take us back. I just hope that everyone take their emotions out, sit down, That's elected officials, and take lower the temperature, and let's look at this. Is it going to be feasible for us to stay, or is it going to be feasible for us to go back to our police department? But if there's going to be savings there, let's make sure that those savings are going to be not going to be a 2 or 3 year thing. It's going to have to be something continuously, because if we're going to go back and put 60 or 70 or 80 million dollars to start our own force back up, then it needs to be well worth it, and the documents need to be there supporting that. Supporting going back to
what
it.
was those that cartoons on the Flintstones there, the Hat Rocks versus the
McCoys or
McCoys,
something?
yeah, you got the Hat Rocks and the McCoys going at it back and forth right now, and one is in one house, there's a stone house next, and they're both shooting out the window at each other. That's what we have going on here. We need to lower the temperature here, the Hat Rocks and the McCoys here. We need to get back down to negotiating, get to the negotiating table. That's what we need to do. There's a lot of talking and press releases. Well, I don't even really care to hear the press releases. You're either going to go and stay with BSO, or you're going to form your own police department.
That's where it's at right now. That's how I feel, Daryl. We either going to stay or we're going to go. If we're going to go, then let's start. Yeah. Let's not go because Sheriff Tony hurt some feelings here. Yeah. Or they hurt Sheriff Tony feelings or whatever. I mean, let's look at this. That's why I asked Mr. Hurst earlier, and I agree. I mean, if whatever they're gonna do,
BSO must stay in Deerfield Beach. Patricia Saunders says, okay, well, if
it's cost effective to stay here, that's a decision that's gonna have to be made. I would pray that all of us in this chat,
no matter what,
get involved and give our input when that time comes.
No matter what happens, our taxes are going to go up some. If they stay here with the 10.7% increase that they're asking for, guess what? Your ad valorem taxes is going to go up, or they're going to have to cut city services or something.
Well, they did mention that. I mean,
something has to give.
Everyone better watch this here, because if they have to come back,
to stay here, you're going to get an increase on your tax bill.
And services going to be lost. Maybe services might be lost, because I mean, it's going to be very costly, and I don't even know how we're going to do it. I mean, I know we got maybe 30-something million or 20-something million in our reserves, but it's going to take about at least 60 to 70, maybe 80 million to bring our police force back. And is it with the projects that we've been hearing about, the city wants to go to Pioneer Grove, are we going to be able to still do all of that? The new city hall, are we going to be able to do all that? Because that's something that I think really we have to really seriously sit and think about before we go back. As I say again, I don't have a problem going back if the city makes it. It's not going to be my decision to make. It's going to be the city. And I don't know. I mean, I know back in order to transfer something back in the days, I remember the charter said something about it had to be worth $750,000. I don't know if the residents have to vote on it. The residents would have a say, or the commissioners. I mean, it is something that's gonna have to. I'm telling y'all stay involved in this here. Those that want to stay, it's gonna be. I'm quite sure it's gonna be a time gonna come where that people gonna have to come out and speak, whether you want the current BSO to stay here, or you want the city to start their own police force. Whatever it is, it's gonna be very emotional for everyone.
Outro. Tyrone Hill says it was too much corruption back in the day when Deerfield Police Department, what does it say? Specifically, when they killed my best friend, Willie Junebug McDonald, R.I.P. Yeah. It was a lot of stuff going on back in the day. We used to be hanging out back in those days, drinking a couple of cold beers at my brother's apartment complex. And we used to, they had guys jumping out on us with guns just about every month. And, we were running for our lives, jumping gates and everything. And, we're lucky to be here, man. It's like the police was never around when we were getting robbed and have Mac 10 Uzi stuck in our face and up to our heads and everything. That was a scary feeling. back then. You know, we
that
didn't
was a
feel,
bad time
we didn't
back
feel
then.
protected.
We didn't.
You know, all us, you know, the police officers was up in the police station.
Yeah.
Drinking coffee
That was
or whatever.
a bad time for people here in Deerfield Beach that remember the old Deerfield Beach police. And that's why I'm being honest. Most people I talk to are not fans of going back because we remember the hell that we caught. I mean, I got old articles. I have put them up on our site when they were beating people back in the 70s. And I know I'm taking a stretch. I know I'm going back 50-something years ago.
Yeah.
I put an article up a long time ago where they beat Mr. MC Bryant's son back in the 70s, and the blacks protested here. Again, I was here out there on that park when we're out there just sitting out there watching the baseball game back in the days, and police would come out there and run us off the park, run us out the parking lot out there. So I lived those times.
Yeah, we did, and we saw that. You know, they did do that, and my brother's not lying. They told us we were standing in a public park. A public park, didn't break the law or anything, and they told us we had to leave the park.
I'll never forget that.
And we can't have that. If we're gonna go back to our own police department, we can't have that.
Gotta be accountability.
You know, we cannot have that type of thing. That we know that was 30-something years ago. I know, but give us a chance. We're gonna make sure that doesn't happen again. We hope so. Well, these, like Tara said, Jamara Tara said, these views and feelings should be expressed at the commission meeting.
Yes, they should.
So if you think you should stay with BSO, come to the commission meeting next week on the 19th. If you think that they should go to back to their own Deerfield Beach and police, Deerfield Beach Police and Fire Department, you let the commission know. Ultimately, we're gonna have to pay for it. Okay.
Yeah.
That's the bottom line. No matter which way you go, we're gonna end up paying for it. Okay. I don't know if you're gonna go partner with another city or whatever and try to form something. I don't know, but I'm just saying, whatever way we go, the taxpayers here, the people here who pay taxes, the businesses, we're gonna pay for it. Okay. So we've been on here for 2 hours now.
I want to say one thing too before we leave. I also want to say, you know, my condolences to my classmate Stephon Bell. He lost his mom, Miss Lorraine. Everyone knew Miss Lorraine here that's been here a long time. She was selling insurance. She did hair. She was a hairstylist. Everyone knew, they called the Big Mama. We all knew Miss Lorraine. I knew Miss Lorraine from coming to my grandparents' house in the 1970s. She was coming there. And I just wanted to just wish my classmate, Stephon Bell. We all know Stephon Chubb Bell, legend here in Deerfield Beach, playing football, Deerfield High, Packer Rattlers. He's one of my friends. We had him on the podcast here before. And Warren Bull Scott did a lot of work at my house. That's my guy there, him and Stephon. Again, my sincere condolences to the death of their mom, Miss Lorraine. They used to call her Big Mama, and that's all I wanted to say. Commission meeting is next Tuesday. They're going to be I have to look. I know they're going to be honoring this young lady. Her family is from Deerfield, and she runs track. So she made it to the finals of something out of state, the AA finals, but they're going to be honoring her. I believe, I was told they're going to be honoring her, but I need to see the agenda so we'll know. And again, come to the meeting. I was up there last week. I got up and spoke about the Tigner Center, and it is my belief, and it was others, Terry Scott, Commissioner Gwen Clark Reed, former Commissioner Clark Reed said that the Tigner Center was not being utilized like it should be. And Mr. Scott said the same thing. I got up first and I echoed that, you know, I know a lot of kids said that they wanted to have a game room there. And they was thinking of programs. I also gave Mr. Warner a GED program because you got a lot of people that did not get their diploma. GED programs. Let's start. I mean, we can get computer coding programs. I remember Commissioner Battle wanted that program here. Were those some of the programs here?
OBS Studio.
Yes, it's a lot. That place can get full out there. They just got to get the right right programs out there. And I know
OBS Studio will be huge.
Yes, and the kids said that they wanted like the gaming station, and I heard I think Mr. Warner said some of that stuff is already out there. I heard they wanted like an arcade room, pinball. What was it? Ping ball we used to play. Mr. Maya Pooh's place back in the day. Pinball. I'm sorry.
Pinball machine,
it's been so long. Y'all, excuse me, but pinball. And we used to play that. They said they want all that like a gaming station. They want all that. The place should be full out there. We need to utilize that place for the adults and the kids. But if we really want to get the kids to doing something and doing educational programs, let's get coding programs. Let's get GED programs. It's so much out there that we can get at that Tigner Center. And I think everyone expressed that they like to see that place. And I mean, y'all go back and listen to the last commission meeting. Miss Reed former commissioner, state rep, Gwendolyn Clark Reed didn't hold back. When I got up and spoke, I just kept it. I didn't want to go nuclear. Y'all remember that word there. I didn't want to go nuclear, but Commissioner Reed laid it out, and Terry Scott too. So
yeah, he did. Yeah.
Credit has to be given in order for our community to be a better place. We need people to continue to speak out. I mean, not just sit here and vent. We need people like Tara said earlier. We got to get people to come out and speak if we want our community to be a better place.
Yeah. Let me read these last two comments, and then I'm going to let you tell them about our guest coming up, and then we're going to wrap it up. We're going to get up off here. Okay. Patricia Saunders says there's a big difference between police and BSO. City police follow instructions from City Hall and its workers. BSO have to abide by state and federal rules and policy. City police break all laws, and they don't care. And Jamara Tara said, I'm bringing a program to the Tigner Center for 12 to 17-year-olds in January of 2026. So that's a good thing. Tara, keep us posted. We're going to bring you on here to talk about it.
That's right. And we know you a mover and a shaker. So we definitely want to see your human trafficking back out there again. I think that's something that I would hope we can have yearly.
Yes.
Tony Sands, Mothers Against Gun Violence. I hope to see that. Those are excellent programs that we can that our community needs. That's something tangible that we can see.
Right. So let them know about our guests before we hop off of here. And don't forget to go watch Tony and Calandra Sands. They're going to be live on their podcast and from their backyard, talking sports at 8 p.m. tonight. So go check out Tony and Calandra Sands podcast. Go ahead, Wayne, and read off our future guests starting next week.
Yes, starting next week, we're going to have some great guests here for the next 3 weeks. Now, we're going to have Miss Danielle Campbell. And Miss Danielle Campbell wears a lot of hats. I mean, she's a firearm instructor. I believe she's from the Miami area. Yes, she's a firearm instructor. She has her business. She runs a ladies' night. Ladies' night months on nights where gun ranges have no cover for women. She's all about self-protection. She's also the Southeast Regional Director for the National African American Gun Association, NAAGA. She's a federal firearms licensed dealer. She's also a co-director of Protect Peace and organizations designed to give gun owners a voice in community violence. So she runs a lot of things. Also, on the August 27th, we're going to have former Pompano Beach Mayor and the current Broward County Commissioner Lamar Fisher. That's going to be August 27th. And following that, on September 4th, we're going to have newly elected Deerfield Beach tax collector Abby Ajay. And Abby Ajay is over the tax collection DMV. She's over all of that. So y'all come with the questions, whatever about the long lines at the DMV.
Definitely.
If you're I'm just gonna warn people now. If you go to the Pompano office, you better put in an appointment, and they're in a lot of other places because a lot of places don't take walk-ins no more. So if you're luckily, I was told months ago to put in my to go to get my license months ago. I need them renewed. And luckily I put in way back in April because it was full way past September, which when I would have to renew again. So that's just one. We're going to have, like I say, we're going to have Miss Danielle Campbell. We're going to have Lamar Fisher. We're going to have also Abby Ajay in the next 3 weeks. So we're going to have some exciting guests. Y'all stay with us.
All right. So that's going to be our guest. Man, we hope you all enjoyed our podcast here this evening.
Cooking classes too out there. Patricia Sanders, definitely sewing. Those are some of the programs. I mean to cut you off there, but I definitely want to. I saw that. That was good. Cooking classes, sewing classes by Patricia Sanders out at the Tigner Center. Definitely.
All right. So thank you all for watching. Thank you all for rocking with the hottest podcast here in South Florida, the Adams Brothers Podcast. We want to thank you all for supporting us. We hope you all enjoyed this podcast. And if you missed it, you can always go back and watch the playback. And over here, we are unbought and unbossed and unapologetically black. And we're going to always look out for our community and our city, our county, and our state. And we're going to look out for black people all over the world. Thank you all for rocking with us, man. We appreciate the love. We'll be back next week with another podcast that you don't want to miss.
And y'all check out Tony and Calandra saying Backyard at 8 o'clock, man. It's good. They talk about sports. So yes, it's right now we need to just have some moments of sports to really, I hope, to bring us back to where we need to be in this city. And don't forget about the Packer Rattlers just opened up their season last week at the Oviedo McKeithen Recreational Complex. So support the Packer Rattlers, support the youth, support our kids. They're back to school this week. Drive slowly and drive safely, everyone. And God bless everyone out there that was in the chat. We love you. Ain't nothing you can do about it.
Thank you all for participating here tonight. We appreciate it. Like, share, tag someone in this podcast, man, and share it 1,000,000 times. Thank y'all for rocking with us. Good night, everybody. We love you, and there's nothing you can do about it. Good night, everybody.